Okay, I think they got that all set up now. Okay, now I can get back to playing. Let me know if it sounds terrible or anything. So on the wall, there's the button, there's a thing where I can punch in a 2-digit number. And there's also instructions, pretty much, for numbers to put in there. And I just put in 47. I'm gonna go back and look at that. So here it is, here's the wall. This is where the note sent me. And then of course there's another note that says topographical extrusion test, water turbulent something, marker switch diagram, which is what I put in because there's a little button up here, that little green spot. Push that and try typing in 67 next. So I did 47 last. Okay, and push this red button. Now I go click on this thing that's back here and see what it does this time. Okay, that doesn't seem to be doing anything fancy. That seems like what it was like before. Okay. Don't know what that did, or if it did anything, but I'm gonna try the other number before I leave here and try to figure out more stuff. You know what, I forgot to look at that and see what the other number was. Okay, the number is, what is that, like 80 or something? Something zero, man, it's like 60 or 80. Topographical extrusion test. Okay, I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to put that in, so I'll try 60. We'll see if that does anything. It's gonna be a lot of running around if this doesn't work though. Okay, did that do anything fun and new? Push the button. Well, that's different. I don't know what it means. Oops. Normally we go back to the water or whatever. very lost. Is that link even working? Huh. That's annoying. There we go. Okay. Back to messing with this. So I don't know what this is doing. I'm gonna try switching that to 80 even though I think it's on the right thing. Looks like a 60 to me though. Is this the water thing? No? Yeah? What? Man, I don't know what that is. Okay, that's the same thing it did last time, so. But it's not doing the water thing either. Getting distracted. Okay, so what do we got? I got my notes on my phone here because I've been taking pictures of everything because it's not 1993 anymore and I can do that. Let's see, the note said, Catherine, I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our 4-chamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on the island into the imager to retrieve the message. Well, I don't know if this is what I'm guessing is an imager right here, but I don't know how to enter anything into it. But then again, that number on the wall does seem to enter it, but I count 6 markers, or 7 or 8. But I've tried everything from like 5 to 10, and it's not working if I punt those numbers in there. But then again, I haven't been clicking on that thing since then, so let's try that again. Maybe that'll work. I think the number is 8. So I'll put that in there, then I'll go click on the imager, the fountain thing. Because I wasn't doing that before, I was just putting in the numbers of my guesses and then pushing that red button. I believe there are 8 switches. Okay, that's new.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Agatha, but I shouldn't reach conclusions. I'll find you as well. I should have known better than my library so long. Well, I've removed the undamaged books from the library and placed them as protection. You shouldn't have to use them until I return. But if you've forgotten access, remember the tower rotation. Don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Erase this message after you just to be safe.
I don't want to do that. I don't think I'm Catherine either, so... I might be Catherine, I don't know. Okay. You know what? All I got from that was some basic plot stuff. That didn't really lead me anywhere, so I'm gonna push that button again. I'm gonna pay attention, see if there's anything new. Something about rotations. Taking some notes.
Catherine, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Agatha, but I shouldn't reach conclusions. I'll find you as well. I should have known better than my library so long. Well, I've removed the undamaged books from the library and placed them as protection. You shouldn't have to use them until I return. But if you've forgotten access, remember the tower rotation. Don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Erase this message after you just to be safe.
Okay, well, I certainly don't know how to erase it. Let's see, we got Sons, Agnar, Cyrus, books in place of protection, access key has something to do, the access key and the tower rotation. Okay, I seriously don't know what to do next, but I'll run around and try to figure it out. I'm gonna have to go read those books. I did not do a good job reading. I read one of the books. Okay. Yeah, I was right about the amount of switches, though. There's one of them. Okay, there's books that are under protection. That note's the one that led me to all that mess. The one on the ground back there. Go in here and we'll read some more books. Start with this green one. I called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world, though it is exactly how I imagined it. It is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island, which is where I'm at, I'm guessing. I'm gonna mute you, buddy. A small rocky island. Everywhere there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. Elsewhere there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to one adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautiful clear. I'll write that down. From blue to orange. I've seen some color changing stuff to clear. I was so intrigued by the water I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the discovery of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the centers of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be the leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to their leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appeared human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that he could not hold. By an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. See, then it switches to red. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a... Is that like black to red? I'm going to write that down just in case. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own language in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly, some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. They then would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment. But I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details were very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the islands from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. I know there's like pumps and stuff on this island. The island must have stopped on its own, yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there. and the tree dwellers worship him and apparently all humans as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands, lightly murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down to the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of a walkway and carried it away. He was laid down at the end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke to green water. This morning I awoke finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. What color is that? It looks like blue to me. I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine... Oh, this is actress or actress, I don't know how to pronounce it. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how... Cyrus. Oh, that must be Cyrus. S-I-R-R-U-S. I spelled it differently. And Akinar. And I also spelled that differently. Will react to its curious inhabitants. Then we switch to green. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. Did that switch colors again? It looks like black again. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Oswi and Age. Cyrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay, though the idea unsettles me. I know that the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of those creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect of the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith that they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Bran and her people are continuing to be a menace by the Chokchitik. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Cyrus and Aknar here. See Everdunes Journal for more information. After watching Cyrus and Aknar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again and for a little longer. So this might be Channelwood. Now we're to pink or red. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cyrus and Aknar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Cyrus and Aknar about Pran's death today. Yeah, we're going to call her Pran. I think that switched to red. Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken. Although they only remembered her from their childhood, Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cyrus and Aknar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. Is that blue or black now? I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoyed hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and I'm reminded of my own adventures as a child, which there's a book about that, MYST, the Book of Atris. This is who wrote this book is the guy that the first book is about when he was a kid. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of the past entries, I see that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. The green. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and I also asked if they can visit some other ages alone. Though I will have to think over their request, I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Okay, so here's some diagrams. And I'm a cheater, so I'm gonna take pictures. Guess that's all of that. Okay, so that's the green book. Is this book readable? I think this one is. The blue book. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were, a group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This is where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy would be called Wit. Wit was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Wit were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age. Oh, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the small rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. It's like, before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. There's an episode of Clerks, the animated series, where Canada calls up this like corporate company that some Canadians that they worked for, and it was funny to me because the guy was like, they're like dressed up in like silly outfits and like calling up this guy for help, and he's like, "It's just rain. Go ahead and stab it. I don't care." It reminded me of that. Not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules dedicated to me by my father. Yeah, see, I know what this is, what they're talking about, because I've read the books. We're inside of a book right now, and to get out, you need like the link book. And to get back to what supposedly is the real world, there's also books inside this world, which you would need a link book to get in and out of. But so like you can have like worlds within worlds within worlds, and they call them ages. And yeah, when you write the books, it requires a special ink that one group of people makes, and it also requires special books that other group of people make, so that nobody knows how to make both the ink and the books, like a separation of power. So like when you write the books with that specialized ink, you're writing the laws of physics for the world that you're going to jump into. So that's what they're talking about here. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers for a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon. Hold on, I gotta go back. What is that? It says lamp. Looks like a porthole, but it's a lamp. Oh, is that the... I don't know what that is. I don't know, but I'll keep a lookout out for that. Which I have not been able to discover. It's created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off island or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Wit. Oh, that's Will. I've been saying Wit. That's gotta be Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I was hoping to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light towards the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose me no real problem. That's... who diagrams a lamp like that? That's like... it's like they took like a cutaway of like a lampshade and they're like, the importance of a lampshade. It must be 16 diameter. I don't know. Whatever. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light into the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night at the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise with my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not too far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I felt pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing nor the art that will have more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think of this age as a gift to myself, and I will wrap up and open someday in the future only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I will have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I am going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. Not sure what that picture means. Oh, wow, okay, so there's more. This is like all reading. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. I know, you're a cat. You want attention. Yeah, I know. I can't believe the change has taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been waiting for me with their new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit... okay, lighthouse is sinking. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. Okay, and I took pictures of all these because there's a spot where I can like punch them in. It's been like half an hour of reading, but I haven't really learned a whole lot. I think this is the one I read. It's been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly. I think for some reason I do not best altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be welcome, unwelcome, in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think it would... But I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that An age I have linked to with Hoarder discussing. Yeah, if you want to link to this, like on my Facebook, I'm having trouble linking it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if you want to.
Okay.
From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water, blue, can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sprinkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is this hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red, long past the sunset, darker. You know, I gotta stop reading these books. I want to see if there's any pictures, because, like, I'm not learning anything. I'm gonna go mess around this island some more. There's a picture of a thing. Chasm has ripped the surface of this world. There's like earthquakes or something. Oh, what's that? Okay, this is a rocket. Decided 3 meters is not enough support from the beams. Amazingly strong. Man, I'm probably gonna have to read this one. Oh, that was something. Taking a picture of that. Man, I'm gonna have to read this one. I had pride in my accomplishments. I don't see anything about notes. I don't know why a map of the island would... It doesn't look like this island. I think this is also one. Oh, that one's all burned. How long have I been reading? This is frustrating. But I need to know this stuff. Okay, for some reason I didn't have it. From the grassy field in which I'm standing. A rather large lake looms for some source from where I'm standing, yet the water's blue can be seen. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues. I'm going to skip the next page. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular, oranges and reds. Okay, I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever expected. I was awakened by terrible shakings on the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a MYST linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. See, there's the linking books I was talking about. You need to move back and forth with, or at least to get out. I don't think you need them to get in, but you definitely need them to get out. I have returned to a different world than the one I left nearly 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently, the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind I remembered has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake, and due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers more. It offers so much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in the nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breeze had returned along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use this chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own. I feel I should again leave and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cyrus and Aknar and make sure everything is going along well when I return. I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have always found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began to stay on the bridge of, and it starts to disappear. The magnetic rod will work well, and I have decided 3 meters is not enough support from the beams, although... Okay, it's like a satellite, and there's like a turning thing. Amazingly strong, it says, and there's a rocket. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am would never have imagined it to come together. I doubt it could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. I am leaving today in order to bring back Cyrus and Aknar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see there. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity and by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of the construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions will be answered in another age, to which I hope to travel soon, but for now I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. And some notes, and I took a picture of that. And then a map of the island. Okay. Man, oops. That didn't help.
I'm sorry.
I read all that stuff. That was a lot of reading. That was so much reading. I'm gonna start poking this stuff again. Alright, let's go poke this picture and see what happens back here again. books again too. Toss me a Capri Sun.
Can I put the straw in it and bring it to you?
Okay. Bring your babies? Okay, I have no idea what he said any of that stuff. Whatever, let's go see what's back here again. There's the button for the library. That doesn't seem to do anything. Okay. Library button doesn't do anything. Click on the lights. Nope. Take a look at this map again. This is tower rotation. Click this, that thing. Oh, if I hold down, it like rotates. Maybe I can. Is that the lighthouse thing? Maybe I can aim that somewhere. Oh, I'll try aiming it right there. Does it continue to be there? I have no idea. But I guess let's point it somewhere, see what happens. I assume that's the sound of it moving. Oops. There's that blue note, and then there's this chimney thing. Wait, did I just click on something? Oh yeah, I was just clicking around. I'll be damned, there's a button there. Okay. Well. Not sure what this is. Found a new thing.
Good luck, soldier.
Okay, best I can think is like, I don't know, let me see how this big this is so I can remember it for future reference. That is 2, 4, 6, 8. by 2, 4, 6, 8 by 6. So I will keep an eye out for something with that shape. And I'm just going to climb out of here because I have no idea what this is. I'll look up at the ceiling here, see if there's anything up here, going on up here. Can I touch any of this stuff? I don't think I can touch any of this stuff. It just shows clouds. Okay, I'm gonna touch this thing and get out of here. Try looking at the ceiling and see if it looks any different. It does not. No, I don't care about that. I don't want to deal with that right now. Let me get out of here.
Brandon was watching a while ago.
Yeah? Oh, cool. Don't back out, I want to poke this thing. Little teeny boat. Thing. And I got these symbols that are all over here, and I've got the pictures of them. When I click on them, they turn either red or green. And there's like a place where I can put in dates. I'm gonna go back here and look at this again. Oop, not here. Get out of here. I'm gonna go to that star room thing. I still don't have any new info. Like a coin on the door or something. I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't know why that door's shut either. Okay, so we got the stars in here. Turn on the light. Can I poke any of that stuff? I don't think I can. Oops. Dang. Pull this thing down. This lets me put in like dates and times. January 1st, 8:12:14 a.m. Seeing it looks like it puts up what like the stars will look like at that time, but I haven't seen a whole lot of. I haven't really seen any dates anywhere though. I do have that book that shows the pop that actually. Okay. Yeah, a lot of pictures too.
Good call, probably.
Yeah, see, like you can like the book had like those star charts in it, which I assume I can get into here, but I don't know how to make them line up exactly. So if I push that, let's move the month by one, and you see then it's like that. Move it like the day by one, moves it slightly. So I don't know how to get all that to line up. I'm supposed to just like narrow down these be able to figure out what days they were on, I guess, but I don't know how that helps me yet. So I'm gonna get back out of here. Okay.
My wife's cooking too loud for me.
What you making? The bread? Okay, well. I don't want to do that again. I've been in there. Keep looking this way. There's a switch on top of that power line that I can get to and I can pull on it, but it doesn't do anything. At least not as far as I can tell. Don't know what any of this stuff does. It's those same symbols though. I don't know if I'm supposed to pull them in the order that they are in the book. Oh, you know what? I don't have the date. I don't think, but I do have the time. If I look at that clock when it stopped, that gives me the time for maybe that to put into that date and time machine. It also seems to be telling me which way the wind is blowing, which I think in the story told me the wind always like blows north or something, if that is important. That says 2:25. So I don't know which day. I'm not gonna try punching in all 365. Still. What's up? Yeah.
You're not a real gamer.
Yeah, if I'm not willing to exhaust 365. See, that's the thing though, like that there's the other spot where you have to punch in like dates or numbers, and like you also had to like turn around and then go to another machine, so you couldn't just like try number, test it, try number, test it.
You actually had to like know what you were doing kind of.
Yeah.
That's great. I love when games do that. I mean, I hate it. It's the worst, but
Did the book have a picture of these things? Had a picture of like one, I think, but not two.
didn't the game come before the book?
Yeah, I think the games came out before the book. But yeah, I want to play the PlayStation 2 ones. I have both of them, Riven and I forget what the third one's called.
Atlas or something?
No, that's the books. But yeah, there's two more MYST games on PS2. One's called Riven. I think the other one's called MYST 3. Maybe I don't have them.
I don't see it.
I know I have
Oh,
one
yeah,
of them.
It's Exile.
Oh, I have Exile? MYST 3 Exile? Okay. Can I walk this way? Okay. What's going on here? What's with these things? These switch things, I keep like flipping these switches. There's like 8 of them. Got these wood panels. Wait a minute, maybe these panels, maybe those symbols go on them from the other things. Kind of match. I think there's 6 of them. There's 8 of them? There's 8 of them. That would kind of make sense. I'm actually going to check that real quick. Okay. The anchor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 of them. So yeah, maybe those things come off. And there's this annoying thing. I don't understand how this works. It makes noise, so I turn it off. But I'm gonna mess with it again real quick, so that in case I come up with something. And I'm gonna click on a bunch of stuff. Oh shoot, that was the wrong button. Yeah, that's annoying sounding. Still don't know what that does. It seems to make that annoying sound when I got this thing in the corner, which takes a 3-digit number. I don't think I have any 3-digit numbers really that I've gotten from anything. This game, man. Maybe I got lucky and took pictures of that. Oops, went back again. Did I take other pictures of that diagrams? I took some of the diagram pictures.
Oh, grumpy pot.
This must be those underground tunnels. I have various amounts of power I can put in here. And there's some like kind of quasi like notes here. Power to spaceship, generator switches. And even though I still have no idea what I'm doing, I'll go ahead and push some of these just because. The other number on the right was going up before. Now it won't go up. Power on this time. Go flip that switch, see what happens. Alright. See again, like, is there any way to get these off? Oops. Seems like these things would come off. Oops. Ugh. Nothing. Okay, back down the ladder. yeah, I did that thing with the tower. In the story, he talked about facing it a certain direction. Maybe I should be doing that. Click on everything. What's going on with that sound? Oops. Take a look at this thing again. I think it's still set to the message.
Catherine, my love. I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Akinol, but I shouldn't make the conclusions. I'll find him serious as well. I should have known better. My library so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in places of protection. You shouldn't have to use until I return. But got the access key. Remember the tower rotation. No, I don't worry, Captain. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Erase this message after you just to be safe.
So I need an access key and tower rotation. So that seems to be the next step. Fusion stress, water, turbulent, marker switch diagram. Let's try that. Let's try 47. Even though I think that's just a thing. Ah, so slow. Push this button. Turn around. It's just supposed to be like the something diagram, the marker switch diagram. So maybe this is just like to help me like know what I'm counting. Come down here and get the secret message. Yes, that can't be anything important. Okay, so that's useless. Let's see what else is over here. Okay, water turbulent something 67. I think we're gonna punch that one in. I don't remember what that does. turbulent. Pad. Rod. Water turbulent something. What about topographical extrusions test? I don't know what that means either. Whatever. I'm gonna leave it on the water thing. Go look around. I'm gonna go back to that book and look at the diagram of the spinning thing. I don't even know. Okay, guys, this guy talks about the getting the key and turning the tower. I don't even know where that tower is. Talking about that, because that looks like it would turn something. It said the light tower was sinking, so maybe like it sunk down super deep. No, not this room. Go back and look at that book. This time we'll take pictures of the pictures. I believe it was this book. Nah, not one of the burned ones. This one. Oops. Dang it. Just did it again. Okay. It's talking about using the heat for power. No idea what all that stuff means. 3 meters is not enough support. Amazingly strong. I definitely took a picture of that, but I haven't found a place to use that at all. Okay, so that doesn't seem to do anything though. Like there's that rotation thing. Two meters is not enough support. The magnetic rod will work well, and I have decided. Magnetic rod, is that supposed to be a compass then? I don't know, that looks like... Man, I don't know what that looks like. Grr. I suppose that means I have to read this book. Wait a minute, actually I want to see if... This one shows a cog on it, that might be useful. Is this a dead book? Yeah, that's a burned book. Okay. Try reading this one then. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey in a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and gray and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world. I have learned from many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post, expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The lookout post attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundation of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ship sailed away, and the man confined to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive throughout the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save the civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventures that awaits me, and the idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I have begun work on a plan for protection. After a short absence, I have returned to this age. There's part of a diagram. Better take a picture of that. I have returned to this age. With my 2 sons, they have as yet traveled merely with me to understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help. This time, instead of a nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with the 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am pleased with their intelligence and their creativity, and it is refreshing to see as they work on some small projects of their own. It's like some stairs popping up out of the ground. Huh. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here was like the blue sky in MYST. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways. Oh, like Emmett and Branch in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we now have finally finished the fortress that rests between the 3 hills, which are not only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device that makes use of technology called holography. I began experimenting with on my visits to Appermere. I will be working in a couple days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. And this picture, which I'm going to take a picture of because I don't understand what this means. Is that the gear spot? Like up on the tower? Yeah, I think that is. I thought that was the lighthouse. That says track. So there's like a thing that rotates. So yeah, I can rotate that, I think, from that book. From here, actually. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Take a picture of that flag just in case. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. Last night we had a small celebration with the old survivors' dance of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that the blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. Have had a healthy adventure and began work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe. I have begun. But first, I will have an extended time with Catherine, who I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the Tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will case the pain of their bone, will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have long endured. I hope to return to mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. Oh, come on, seriously? They gave me like no clues. I assume all the other books are burned. There's like 4 like books there. So that's annoying. Okay, what would I turn this thing to? I've got this map. Seems to be the next step. Not sure what this is saying that this is. I don't know. Let's see if we can figure out what that even is. Which way to turn that? Thinking that's what's got to be turning. I have no idea what to do.
How you doing?
Terrible.
I asked and he was like, "Ah."
I have no idea what to do. You should help.
Click there.
Okay.
Did you get hauled a hoe by a child?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah. I think he's in like middle school now though.
The child.
Hmm.
Too young to be using that language, that's for sure.
That's true. That's true. Wait, did I put that down as like 225? That's 510. I got my hands backwards.
Are you sure it's not 459? Made you look. Zing!
Good one. Help me now.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. Like, I gotta figure out the, like, tower rotation.
I vastly underestimated how much this bread would rise. It said to split them into 4, but I thought that I didn't have enough dough, so I only split it into 2. It's
Yeah.
looking like the end of Ghostbusters in here. good
Fair
one.
enough.
The original one.
Man, I'm just gonna like keep doing this. There's not that many combos here. Oh, it probably doesn't even do anything noticeable. Yep. First I tried all the combos. Oh. That changed the time on the clock.
Frolf or GTFO?
What's that?
Frolf or GTFO?
Gonna play Frolf, huh? Okay, well, let's see what happens if I...
Always DTF.
The
down to
left one.
Frolf.
So the left one moved to the minute hand by 5 minutes. Dang it. I assume this will move at 1 hour for the hour hand. Yep. But I don't know what time to set this to. We'll say midnight, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. 2 on 8. 2 on the right, 8 on the left. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know what time to set this to though. I haven't been given any specific times to set it to. But I got it set to the time that I wanted it set to. So that's something. So that's something new learned.
Good job.
Not useful.
No. Well, less good job.
It's the worst. I wonder if there's somewhere like I haven't been to yet.
How it usually goes, you just like to click that one thing.
Yeah.
Does the cursor at least change when you like mouse over stuff?
Very rarely. Almost never.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because if like all spelled, I would just like run my cursor across like pixel by pixel.
No, you're absolutely right. That's what I would do too. What a mess.
It's like they anticipated that.
Right? Yeah, no, this game is not a kind. Okay, so I know that I'm supposed to turn the thing. Still don't know what it's like turning for me though. Pretty sure this is what I'm supposed to be messing with now, is this map here. Go on, let me face the map, there we go. Tower rotation, it says. Shows it being there. Yeah, I faced it a lot of directions. I don't think I've really faced it north yet. Maybe I can find it. I'm gonna go look at this thing that's on top of this thing. Is this telling me which way the wind is blowing? One of the books talked about the wind blowing, so maybe I can figure out like at least what directions everything is. Not that I need to know that for any reason at the time. Does that look like a wind vane to you? Or do you think that's just like straight up like an arrow pointing north?
It has to be a wind vane, I think. It doesn't seem like they put anything there unnecessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, it's probably useful, but, like, is it useful now?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go back and watch that message again. Go back down there. Down to the hidden room. Still not entirely sure what's going on with this underwater boat here. There's the other underwater boat too. And the fountain. Maybe it's related? Alright, click that. Go down there.
I didn't think you could stop. Hi.
Hey, is that like banana bread dough?
No, this is just frosting for the drizzle on top.
Oh,
I didn't do
okay.
banana because like we don't have whole bananas.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a sweet like sour cream bread.
I see.
Oh, my tummy hurts really fast.
Okay. Switch this back to 8. Go over here, we'll click on this again. The message. I don't think it played. There it goes. Give me the message again, actress.
Catherine, my love. I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Aguilar, but I shouldn't make the conclusions. I'll find him serious as well. I should have known that. My library was so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in protection. You shouldn't have to use till I return. But if you've forgotten the access key, remember the tower rotation. No, and don't worry, Captain. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, wait. Erase this message after you, just to be safe.
If you've got the access key, remember the tower rotation. Settings, dimensional imager. So we got topographical extrusion test. That means like pulling out trees. They were talking about it like a bunch of trees, and somebody else mentioned trees. Okay, and there's water, turbulent, something, marker, switch diagrams, 47. Let's take a look at that again. 47. Marker switch diagram. Waiting for something to happen. I gotta go over here and push the thing. Okay. What's marker switch diagram? Oh yeah. Just a video of this thing spinning around. So I know what I was supposed to be counting. So that was a giant waste of time, and I did that earlier. So the topographical extrusion test, I think that's a 60. He didn't like that.
He's purring really hard.
Oh, then he must have liked it.
I was like, oh, he's melting my little heart. He pulled himself closer to me. And her heart grew 3 times.
Okay, well, I'm guessing I got that right, so we'll go to that room and see if we can figure something out. The one with the tree thing, the topographical extruder. So this is PS2. This is definitely PS1. Playing on PlayStation 2 though. Oops.
Okay.
Maybe I need to check that note again. I haven't looked at that in a while. It's super frustrating because I can't even tell if that number's like a 60 or whatever. So like now I'm trying to do this whole thing. I suspect I need more than that. Go click on that spaceship somewhere. I haven't been over there in a while. Is it really only like 7 o'clock? Wait, that's like 11. I'm getting those hands mixed up. It's 11:30. Game's got me brain fried.
You know what would help?
What?
Watching approximately 10 minutes of UHF.
Right. Made some progress at least.
Yeah.
Go check that note one more time. Catherine, I've left a message for you about most importance in our 4-chamber. Beside the dock, enter the number of marker switches on the island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Okay, well I definitely did that. Then he was like, remember the get the key and remember like the rotation thing. And I know what the rotation thing is, but I don't know what to rotate it to. Because why would I do that? I'm not actually Catherine.
You're not Catherine?
I'm not Catherine. Poke this thing again now. Which gives me access to the library area. Although I think that I don't have that unlocked either. So I got this door with a library button that I cannot push for an unknown reason. The library would probably be pretty handy. That when I can punch in the thing doesn't help because I don't know how to put in 8x6 grid. See if the map acts differently while I've got the room down the stairs activated. That is. Nope, appears the same. Tower rotation. Tower rotation.
Oh, you thought I was eating banana bread dough, and I'm allergic to bananas.
Oh yeah.
That's what you were asking, I think.
Well, I just trying to figure out what you're drizzling into your mouth. Maybe the rotation has something to do with this. Is this the tower? Is this different? It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Does this change at all? Because I can hear it like rotating, so it's got to be like nearby, right?
Yes. Oh, she said.
Just very confusing. Face it the opposite direction. You know, in the book, he did mention a light tower. Turning it a certain way to get the neighbors' attention. Maybe I need to find that book again. Nope, but this looks the same in here. 5 lights. I don't remember which book it was though. I took notes today. Okay, I'm gonna go dig in the books again so I can figure out what they were saying with that tower rotation. Still don't know what these books are all about. Maybe it was this book. Hopefully I can just poke through. The rocks branch, we became friends, yeah. All 3 of the boys swam. Good friends, seconded, began to rain. Understand what happened for the felicity the following day. Father, this test did not turn out okay, that's fine. Okay, the night I absolutely here also. Bright light towards the horizon might prove my suspicions regarding additional happenings. Be curious the light traveled the source that means. I returned with many tools and I decided to go to the lighthouse. Control the rock where they could be secure, and I have after plans which slightly, but those alterations posed me. The boys are quite strong and have been helping them as they estimate the construction of the 2 days lighthouse. They all are proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure. Raw from their hands, I even powered up the generator, which is the ways of showing light and rising for 8 hours. Stayed at night at the top of the lighthouse and covered with the chilly blanket. I had begun cussing. Well, who first saw a girl, she swam. Then, well, noticed the man, our father's my girl. Stage I've set in motion. Art that will found this world I have written. I think of the stage as a gift to myself, and I will wrap it up. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. I'm going to need. Adults, many years of recognized mentioned told me that it rained for 7 years. The cool freeze back in there. My lighthouse kept in perfect condition. That is not useful at all. I didn't even tell what direction to face it. Let's do that again for a second. Okay, what could that possibly be? It says tower rotation. I don't think that means the lighthouse though. There's that weird symbol on there. I wonder if that means something. Maybe I just need to start figuring this out with the looks like it connects to other islands if it's done right. Is there a bridge somewhere? I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, let's find the picture of that. Okay, this one's an anchor when it shows like 3 stars in an equilateral triangle, the point being at the top. And these are really sticking out. That one's pretty bright. And on the left side, doesn't seem like it really matches any of these though. Whoa, that really changes a lot just by changing the day. Okay, well, so winging it on this thing is not gonna work out. No. Okay, I found this diagram in my notes. It looks like it may have something to do with the rotation. Maybe that has to do with the rotation. Let's see. 'Cause it looks like that outer track rotates. Maybe that's what I'm rotating. I don't think that's what I'm rotating, but it looks like it's a bridge that connects one island to another. I don't think there's any bridges I have that really connect to islands. There's like that bridge that connects to like the spaceship. For whatever reason, there's a spaceship. That doesn't appear to be rotating though. Yeah, it's not so much of a bridge. And I'm assuming that's the final step. Even though I know that you need a linking book to get out. Bridges, bridges, bridges. What's up?
It's getting saucy.
The dough? Why saucy?
Yes.
Adjust the time on that for some reason. Don't know how that would help. Maybe I should go try the other number on that for that extruder. Shit. I always do that. I always click in there. I gotta go to bed soon.
Huh?
I gotta go to bed soon.
Yeah.
This game is driving me nuts, Lori. But I don't want to resort to using a guide. I can figure this out, damn it. So that must be the topographical extrusion test. Don't know what it means.
Ryan says no sleeping until you finish what you started. He must be watching.
Is he watching? Ryan, are you there?
Unless he's just above our apartment.
That could
Equally
be.
likely. Amos is intrigued by the fly that's on your plate, by the way.
And yeah, Eli's been noticing it here and there. They're gonna knock her. She's gonna knock over the light. That's not gonna help. Oh man, she's mad about that.
The fly like turned around and like flew all fast, like whoa! Hey buddy, get out of there. How did that even get in here? You had the gate open today.
Yeah. Because cats like to go outside.
You keep letting bugs in though.
What's that?
You keep letting bugs in.
Well, yeah.
I got eaten up by mosquitoes in it.
Because cats, they like to go outside.
They don't eat it.
Oh, yep. Nope, there he is. I have to go to sleep, dude. Have you played this before? Do you like know what I'm supposed to be doing next? Damn it. It's driving me nuts. It is? It is what? I forgot. I'm looking at my pictures. Okay, I've got that thing. That thing. That thing doesn't do anything. I don't know what that is. The magnetic rod will work well, and 3 meters is not enough support. Some notes. Some like bridges and stuff. What is it? It is a what, man? Come on, walk forward. Go. Yeah, right? How is it that, like, I've never played this game? Like, this was, like, a big deal back in the day. Admittedly, like, I don't think I really had a computer at the time, but this was, like, one of those, like, big games. And I've read all 3 books. And I'm still hoping they'll come up with a 4th one, even though, like, they're clearly never going to come out with a 4th one. Thinking about sending Rand Miller a message, but I figure I should play all 3 games first before I go demanding a book.
Did you not like the last one?
No, I didn't like the 3rd one, but that doesn't mean I don't want more, because the first 2 were amazing.
You like Blue's Load.
Will you extrude now that I have done the tropical extrusion test? Will you be different? Come on. Nope. This is not different. I'm just gonna leave that running. I'm just gonna let that keep making annoying sounds. So maybe something out here will change. I guess I played 7th Guest, was probably not as good as MYST. Yeah, no, like, yeah, 7th Guest and, Phantasmagoria and, there was the one called, like, 13th Hour or something. I never really played any of the FMV ones, but there was that one with, Tia Carrera and Mark Hamill, though. Remember that one? They were like, on, like, a spaceship. Man, I'm out of ideas. Dude, it's saying about a key and rotating. I'm gonna go push those buttons inside the what I assume is the fireplace. I'm just gonna climb this fireplace. I'm gonna pull down this somewhere over here is a switch. There it is. Start pushing buttons. Deadless encounter? Yeah, I think it might have been. Sorry about that lag. Okay, tongue out face was not the clue, I don't think, so I'm not gonna close this again. I don't know what that's all about. I guess I'll check this book again. I'm gonna listen to this book thing here. And I can't tell what this dude's saying. Like when he's like little brief snippets. Oh, okay. Was there some other like girl in there that was like kind of famous? Maybe I'm getting her mixed up with somebody else. I don't remember. I have an Internet Movie Database set. Oh, okay, so that's Ash talking to his kid.
Blue pages.
What are the blue pages? It was a bad genre. That's why I always kind of avoided it. I'm always like, man, these games are garbage. They're like crappy versions of adventure games, you know. Like I love Maniac Mansion. I still go back and play Maniac Mansion sometimes. Prove it. We have Maniac Mansion though. Yeah, we do. Dude, I totally got it. I'm gonna play it on like emulation. But yeah. But I would take that over FMV games. I still have like those things. Not pause, come on. Get away from this so that I can. Okay, drop page. I don't know, let's go save game, I guess. No memory card. I totally have a memory card in.
PS1?
Yeah, I know I put a PS1 memory card in. There it goes. Input name. My name shall be Butts. Okay. Thank you.
I don't know if it's good at all.
What does drop page do? What? Drop page. That doesn't seem to do anything. What's zip mode? page. I don't know. Let's go with fastest transitions, because that will make me happy. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, I've never played Maniac Mansion either. I even have it on my computer for DOS emulation. Just never got around to it. Yeah, dude, it's great. Dave's theme. Dave is like the one character that you have to take with you. Like his theme song is actually my ringtone. It's like my favorite like video game song. It's a lot of fun. Just know that if you get locked in the basement, like one person will pretty much always be locked in the basement. But there's like a little brick you can push. Like you should really know about that. 'Cause otherwise, like once all three of your people get locked up, you're just kind of done. Never played the Monkey Island games. Didn't play much LucasArts games at all, actually. This looks nice.
Not out here.
Well,
When they said 4 loaves, I should have listened to them. Is it good?
mm-hmm.
I didn't taste it at all, so I was just kind of like hoping it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, play Maniac Mansion. I mean, I've never beaten Maniac Mansion. I never figured it out when I was like a kid. I used to play it at my friend Fred's house a lot. Man, I'm done with this. I'll play later. I gotta go to bed. I have to work. Quit the game. Quit. Yeah, I'm sure. Done. I'm done. Yeah. No, I feel you. Yeah, like, yeah, with Maniac Mansion, like, I really need to, like, want to play it again. Like, I want to beat it with that. It's kind of like this. Like, I don't want to use any guides.
Beg me for help.
Yeah. Man, I'll stream whatever. Like, it seems to... I don't have a whole lot of PC stuff, but... Oh, but yeah, I was going to say, like, I need to learn, Dwarf Fortress. I don't know if you ever, like, looked at it. If you don't know what Dwarf Fortress is, like, go ahead and Google that and fall down that rabbit hole. Oh, you remember Fred? Yeah, he's, I'll tell you about that sometime. He's not around anymore. It's too bad. But yeah, we used to play Maniac Mansion at Fred's house. There's multiple ways to beat Maniac Mansion, but you have to have certain characters to beat it certain ways. Like, one person can, like, develop pictures, the other one can, like, repair machines or something. But yes, look up Dwarf Fortress. Signing out. I need to sleep. Feel free to message me.